On this episode of The Word Made Fresh, we're going to ask the question, what does it mean to take the Bible seriously rather than literally? Welcome back. Good to see you again this week for another episode of The Word Made Fresh, the weekly video Bible study where we take a look at one of the upcoming lectionary passages and then talk about it here, and then you comment about it in the comments, and you email it to all your friends or text it to your mom. I'm going to text it to my mom. Yeah. I'm Reverend Jim Keat, digital minister at the Riverside Church, and let's dive in. We're in the book of Matthew again because that's what the lectionary is into this year. Every 3 years, there's year A, year B, year C, it rotates, and it gives you most of the Bible, not all. There's a bit of bias going on in what passages make the cut and which ones don't. But we are in Matthew, a bit more of Jesus and the Sermon on the Mount. Matthew 5, verses 21 to 37. This is it's a lot of verses, and it's a bit of a doozy, so let's just buckle up and dive in. That doesn't really work. Buckle up and dive in. If you're diving in, you wouldn't buckle up. You'd stretch. If you buckle up, you're taking. Let's buckle up and take off. Okay, here we go. This is again Jesus talking, Sermon on the Mount, continuing the past couple of videos. Started with the Beatitudes, salt and light, and now he says this. You have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that if you are angry with a brother or sister, you will be liable to judgment. And if you insult a brother or sister, you will be liable to the council. And if you say, you fool, you will be liable to the hell of fire. Whoa! Okay, let's keep going. So when you're offering your gift at the altar, if you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go, first to be reconciled to your brother or sister, and then come and offer your gift. Come to terms quickly with your accuser. Is this wind bad? Come to terms quickly with your accuser while you are on the way to court with him, or your accuser may hand you over to the judge, and the judge to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. We need to talk about prison reform, I guess. Truly, I tell you, you will never get out until you have paid the last penny. Whew. Maybe there's a lot of similarities between Jesus' time and ours. Okay, wrong topic, wrong video. Let's keep going. You've heard that it was said, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone who looks at a woman with lust has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Interesting to note that he's only really talking to men here. We need a little bit of a feminist reinterpretation for Jesus on this one. We'll save that for another video too. Let's keep going. If your right eye causes you to sin, tear it out and throw it away. It's better for you to lose one of your members than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It's better to lose one of your members than your whole body and go into hell. Man, Jesus is really preaching the hellfire here, isn't he? Interesting. It was also said, whoever divorces his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that anyone who divorces his wife, except on the ground of unchastity, causes her to commit adultery. And whoever marries a divorced woman commits adultery. Again, why is it with just the women here? What's going on, Jesus? We gotta talk about this. Again, you have heard that it was said to those of ancient times, you shall not swear falsely, but carry out the vows you have made to the Lord. But I say to you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. I've got a few hairs that are white. Let your word be yes, yes, or no, no. Anything more than that comes from the evil one. All right, I told you that was a bit of a passage. Come on. Okay, well, I want us to focus on this from how many areas? I want us to look at this really just from kind of 3 different angles here, and then we're going to also land on the question I opened with. So first, the first angle, this whole Sermon on the Mount, it's interesting to read it all in its entirety as somewhat of a parallel to what we see happening in the book of Exodus, specifically with Moses receiving the 10 Commandments, announcing the law to the Israelites, all of that stuff. And really here we see the parallel most clearly. You've heard it was said to those in ancient times. That's Jesus quoting Deuteronomy, or I think it's all Deuteronomy, pretty sure it is. Someone can fact check that one. Basically he's saying, you've heard it said there, and I say to you now. And I think it's fascinating to just do a parallel of the 10 Commandments, because if you look at the big 10, they kind of start, the first 3 are really how people relate to God, and then the next 7 are really how people relate to people and the world around us. And Jesus is kind of doing a similar thing in the Sermon on the Mount. It starts with the Beatitudes, blessed are you, that's how we relate to God. God views us as blessed, as good, as holy, as full of joy and, possibility and all that goodness. You're blessed. Ding, ding, ding. And then we really get this salt and light, how you're supposed to behave to the world. And now here, most focused, you've heard it said these specific things about killing, adultery, all this other good stuff. Good stuff? And he takes it a little further. He's basically, it's like 10 Commandments 2.0, kind of. And this is what leads us to thing number 2. All of this is what Dietrich Bonhoeffer calls the cost of discipleship. Following Jesus, it's not cheap grace, it's a costly grace. It's going to cost you something. This is not just, first class, relax in luxury and have the drinks given to you Christianity. This is, you will show up in the world as a different kind of person because of following Jesus. And that's what it means to be a follower of this guy, Jesus. We go out into the world as different people because of it. So let's just pause with that one for a second. When you think about what it means to follow Jesus, when you think of these pretty direct words Jesus just said in Matthew here, what would you define as the cost of discipleship? What does it cost to be a follower of Jesus in our world today? Well, that could be an interesting conversation. So that's number 1. Go ahead, typity-type, ding. And this is where I want us to land, though. Taking it literally or taking it seriously. Now, I like this move Jesus makes here. You've heard it said, but I say to you. What I think's going on here is Jesus is saying to a group of people, yeah, you know the law, you know your Torah, you know that book inside and out, you know every command, like all 365 of them, like the back of your hand. You can recite it day and night, forward, backward, upside down. You take it literally, but do you take it seriously? And it's almost as if Jesus is one-upping the law, saying, okay, it's one thing to just give it lip service, but are you willing to actually commit it into your life? Now, I don't think Jesus is literally telling us to cut off hands, but he's inviting us to take these commands seriously. So that's kind of where I want us to focus our conversation. Number 2, what does it mean as a person of faith to take our faith seriously in the world? Not literally, but seriously. So why don't you just pause and think, and then reflect on the difference there. What does it mean to take our faith seriously, not literally? All right. Oh, I'm also in Florida still, if you haven't noticed from the sunshine and my awesome tan. No, I don't really have that. I have a tan line on my wrist from my watch. That's about it, because I go on crazy long runs. Okay, that's all I got for you. So leave your thoughts in a comment. Share this video with someone you think might like it. And yeah, we'll be back with more like in 7 days, because that's how weeks work. And this is a weekly video. Oh, it's February, which means Lent is coming up. Ash Wednesday is Wednesday, February 26th, and that means we will have a new season of Be Still and Go Meditations for the Movement, our daily devotional podcast that we offer in Lent and Advent, and then like a bonus season in the summer or fall. So get ready for that. If you haven't already, subscribe to Be Still and Go on your favorite podcast app. Just doop-a-doop-a-doop, ding, type, subscribe, all that good stuff. Or you can go to trcnyc.org/Be Still and Go to listen to all 100-something episodes there, and every new one will show up there starting Wednesday, February 26th. All right, let's go walk along this isn't the ocean, this is like a river. The ocean's over there. Let's go walk around and then go live your life.